Hi everyone! Oh my gosh, I'm so excited!
Say, nigga, I don't wanna talk.
Welcome everyone to the Final Stretch Podcast. I'm here, Clarissa F, aka Clarissa Smith, whatever you want to call me. I'm still figuring out my name. You guys, Shinetime, Merge FM, thank you so much for having me. Thanks so much for hosting my podcast. Of course, we got the wonderful DJ Kiki, ASL Princess. How you doing? Shout her out on social media. We got Phil behind the camera. We got some wonderful guests here. Super excited, you guys. Definitely gonna hop right in. Gonna go over a couple of great things that have happened this week. I normally do happies and crappies, but I just want to talk about the news because it's the holidays. What else are you gonna talk about but the news? So I'm super excited for this episode. So just to get started, I want to talk about what's going on here in Columbus. We have such a giving spirit, so I just want to touch on it. I know COS I moved away, but I'm back. I want to talk about the Salvation Army, my favorite army here in the United States. Shout out to them. The Salvation Army is giving out toys and hope to all the families here in Columbus. It's a huge deal. You see them everywhere with their fucking bells and their little pails and shit. It's so nice. My favorite part is that they still do not give to the homosexual children, so too bad for the little kid from Stranger Things. Shout out to you. That's obviously too bad. Another fun thing that's happening in my city, there is a wonderful scam. You guys all know I love scammers. You all know I love thieves and criminals. This one is my favorite because this man, Shante Harden, actually is his name, has 37 counts against him because he ran an illegal funeral home for 2 years. That means he was just taking bodies. He said he wanted to provide services to lower income people, so he was just taking their dead bodies and putting them behind barns and churches and in the refrigerator, like very strange things. But of course, a really cool thing is that he only got about 8 counts of abuse of a corpse, so he got off pretty good with that because he took about 10 bodies. So I say, good for him. 'Tis the season. Another thing is he got 5 counts of failure to pay his taxes. So while they were all touching, about all the dead bodies he was taking in, just abusing these people, taking advantage of them, the government was really focused on the fact that he did not pay his fucking taxes. So I'm going to use a new phrase that I just learned today from white men. There's nothing certain but death and taxes, and this is proof of that. Another thing I want to talk about, this is a bit more national, and I love, love, love this book. So I'm really pissed off about it. It's called All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. All Boys Aren't Blue. It's a memoir about him blowing up. Him blowing up, I'm just kidding, him growing up gay and black and how that helps him maneuver society or how he had to deal with that. And it's a really moving book and it's a really important book. But of course, they're banning it because they said it's too obscene. I don't know why people are admitting that anal is too obscene, but I'm against it. But anyway, they banned it from schools. The superintendent actually disagreed with the school board's claim that it's not obscene. So they're still banning it from schools. And yes, it's 2021 and this is still happening. And yes, it is happening in the state of Florida. So yeah, All Boys Aren't Blue. Check that book out. I personally love it. Fuck Florida. Fuck everyone. Another thing that's happening, according to CNN, there's a giant black box that they're building in the middle of the desert. It's funny because there's actually a black box in Mecca, but Westerners don't care about what's going on around the world. So they're building another black box, and this time they're going to hold the they're going to hold the climate information that's happening today for all civilization to know for the rest of time. So it's kind of like a weird, what are those things called where you put in time capsule, right? So it's really fucked up. It's really weird. But they said it's going to be indestructible and independent, right? So there's not going to be any other associated with it. It's just going to be this giant black box that they're hoping civilization will learn from all about climate change. I just thought that was real fucked up and really, really weird. Another thing that's happening on a lighter note, on the Shade Room, they provided some really great information. They said that L.A. Reid, the record executive, is actually coming out and saying that he wants to have a versus battle with Beyonce and Mariah Carey, who he called Mariah Carey underrated in comparison to Beyonce. Yes, even in the holiday season, as you can see with my hat and my love, we would play All I Want for Christmas in honor of Mariah, but we can't afford it. So, you know, I just say fuck L.A. Reid. Mariah Carey is never sitting down to do a versus. Fuck versus. I love Mariah. I love Beyonce, but I love Mariah more. Beehive, don't come for me. Another thing that's happening, this is also according to CNN, just to bring it all back. So in South Portland, Maine, they have their first black mayor. And also, as CNN put it, their seemingly first Somali mayor, which I thought was funny because why is it seemingly? Like, are there other secret Somali mayors running around the U.S. that I don't know, like that aren't revealing themselves? I don't know. But I just thought that was really cool. So shout out to South Portland, Maine for clearly having their first black person as well. I don't know. But my favorite story of the week is the fact that we are going to apparently, I think, like, boycott China or something like that. I don't know. I'm no good at global politics. I'm no good at politics in general. I just love my stories. I love my comedy. I love my wine. And I love my Real Housewives. But I do have someone here who can explain to all of us what's going on in China. And, of course, this woman is one of my favorite family members. Yes, yes, yes. She's actually getting her PhD in International Relations and International Studies in Rutgers. You guys, Cousin Tammy with the political tea come through. Oh.
Hey, hi. Long time no see.
Yeah. I've been working. I'm working. I work.
Are you missing Christmas again?
I'm not gonna miss it again. I'm just gonna miss it once more. So it's just gonna be like a repetitive thing until it's COVID. Times are. So tell us about China. China is really fucking up, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let me introduce myself. Hey y'all, I am Cousin Tammy, here to break down this political tea and what's going down in China. So, the 2022 Winter Olympics taking place in Beijing, much like Black and Brown sisters, we said forget this cold mess. We ain't going. That's right. The United States issued a diplomatic boycott of the Winter Olympics in Beijing, China.
What does that mean?
A diplomatic boycott?
A diplomatic boycott.
Do you know what that is?
I don't know.
Okay. So basically the U.S. said athletes can play, but government officials ain't stepping foot on that ground.
Oh shit, okay.
But guess what China said?
What did China say?
You won't believe it.
What did China say?
China said, bet. You weren't invited anyways.
Shit. Okay. I'm feeling that.
That's right. So the United States said, oh, well, we weren't invited. Well, no one's coming to your busted mess anyways, too.
Sweet.
So the U.S. said, no one's coming to your busted mess anyways. So they didn't care. Yeah, we did. And guess who was boycotting also? Australia.
Okay. Australia, okay.
The UK.
Okay. The BRICS, alright.
India.
Okay. India.
And
Australia.
Japan. And a dozen more countries.
Oh my god.
Damn shame.
Yeah, that's intense.
But sources say it's due to human rights, atrocities, and violations. And according to the press secretary, Jessica Basaki, she said, standing up to human rights is the DNA of Americans. I mean, you can laugh. Sorry, Basaki.
Yeah. You know what? As I said, I like the Olympics. I fucking hate the cold. So, and I don't know how I feel about China. They make all my shit. They make my phone. I fucking like China.
We kind of need them a little bit.
We need them a lot. Yeah, I say, you know what?
I don't have no problem with China.
Yeah, I mean, I don't either. I'm just a huge... All right. right, Kiki. So Kiki wants this to end. So we are going to go ahead and thank you so much, Cousin Tammy, for coming through.
Don't be missing Christmas and don't hug me in live.
Okay. All right, you guys. So I'm super excited about who I have on here today, you guys. It's like, I don't know, the best day on earth. Super recommended by multiple people. They're like, hey, you should have him on the pod. And I was like, what? And I said, what? And then they said, what? And I said, yeah, of course. So you guys, I'm excited for this collective. Individually, very funny men. Together, very funny boys. The Glitter Boys, you guys.
Boys.
All right. So I just want you guys to go down the row, say who you are.
Okay. I'm Joel Good.
Chris Dowd.
Stevie J.
Johnny Coolins.
And they are the...
Boys.
All right, sweet. So before we get started, first tell us about how you came up with the name Glitter Boys.
Well, it's funny. Nobody ever asked us that question.
Yeah.
It's so
Good
funny
question.
you bring it up.
Yeah.
So can we give a quick synopsis?
We were
Watching Lost Boys.
Yeah, watch
talked
Lost
about.
Boys.
Well, it wasn't at the time.
So Lost
Later.
Boys happened before.
Yeah.
So the true story, it starts with Lost Boys. Yes, we watched Lost Boys. We were like, those earrings are pretty tight. Started wearing those earrings, and then we took a bunch of drugs. And someone was like,
Yeah.
"You're real glittery, you're shining."
Shining.
And then that's what Glitter Boys. I
It
guess.
probably had something to do with sweat. To be honest.
Yeah.
We're glittery. We were glittery.
We were
shiny,
probably sweaty,
glittery
glittery
boys.
Glittery
I
boys,
mean,
and then
I would hope not. I didn't think of sweat in the beginning.
Well, if we were sparkly for whatever reason.
I think the fun part about
think
this
the
is none of
sparkle
us
came
know
from the
exactly
LSD.
how it starts.
it's kind of hard.
It-
I think it involved drugs.
It drugs for sure.
But
That's,
drugs
that's
were-
one thing
were
we agree
involved.
on.
We
Drugs
know
were
that.
involved.
We know that.
Absolutely.
You know, involved. Yeah, put that hat back on, Chris.
Hey,
Anyway, I think they bled glitter in the movie, right?
Yeah,
So-
their blood
Really?
was glitter in that movie. Yeah.
So we are glitter because we be shining.
Shining.
We shining.
That's why, because we would be
We
shining.
be shining.
Shine
Okay,
on.
sweet.
Long story
So
short.
that's a great story. Learned a lot. That's a great story. Now I just want to go into a segment that we call here at the Final Stretch Pod. It's happies and crappies. So you're just going to do one happy from the week and then one crappy from the week.
Okay. Well, mine was
Yeah,
at Bob
okay.
Evans. That's one like long. What was it? Sadie or the crappy? One long crappy.
Chris, you want
But
to take this one?
Yeah, so as Joel said, psychedelics were involved. We had watched the movie Lost Boys like a month before,
Okay.
and
But
that's
what
like
is what is
Lost Boys is like a vampire
werewolves,
movies from
vampires.
the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And
Dangly
basically,
earrings.
we saw that they had dangly earrings, and we were like, "Those are dope." And the back of my truck and the hutch flew out
oh no.
and exploded upon impact with the road. So I had to buy my girlfriend a new hutch, and that sucks. But you
You gotta strap it
do what you
down
gotta.
good.
I did. We stopped at a gas station like an hour into the drive and checked it, and I was like, "It's all good." Apparently not.
Yeah, for something for that to have happened.
You know?
Swag.
Yeah, he was doing cocaine on the road.
That's sad. That is.
Yeah, that's my
Poor
my
hutch.
crap,
You'll be
for sure. Steve.
Oh, me. Yeah. My happy for this week was actually being able to get enough time off of work to come and record with the boys and shine time. 'Cause usually, because I usually
snap.
work all the time. And the
Shucks.
job sucks. So, to get enough time to get out of my cube and have a little,
Spectrum
party.
will watch this shit. Be like, "We suck, huh?"
Oh well.
Is that right? We suck.
Well, they get free cable, so they're not too bad. And my crappy was the other day I went to Wendy's like I normally do to get my food, but they were closed in the dining room because they were understaffed. So
Oh.
I had to go to Dairy Queen instead. And the lady behind the counter was like, "Do you want some ketchup with your French fries?" I'm like, "Yes." Get all the way back to my desk. No motherfucking French fries. I'd eat those dry ass fries by myself. They were cold. No ketchup. And it sucks.
You got your fries from Dairy Queen. You expected them to be hot?
Well, they were lukewarm, but by the time I got back,
Also,
Yeah,
who
but
gets
like
fries from
Dairy
Dairy
Queen fries
Queen?
aren't good.
Yeah.
they're not
Burger King
great.
fries aren't good.
Well, they were in
McDonald's
walking
fries are
distance.
hardly
All right, I catch the bus.
Wendy's almost forgot my fries today. I checked the bag checker, and yeah, they would have forgot.
You got to. You
Wendy's
got to
is-
be a bag checker.
Wendy's is
That's
slacking
fucking
right now.
shit, dude.
They would have. I would have been devastated if I had gotten home and didn't have any fries.
Yeah, and I'm normally
I've
not the
gotten
guy
like-
who checks the bag like an asshole, but one of those days, I should.
It depends on how many items you got. Like if it's going to take you 20 minutes to check and there's a line, it's not cool. But pull forward or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know. I
It
would check
prevents
the
shit
bag.
like this from happening.
You know, we got a lot of shit going on. They forget things.
It's funny. I was raised by a stressed out single mother. So we would go and she would go to the fast food places and we would be in the back seat and we're like, oh my god, we get McDonald's, we get Burger King, we get a kids meal. And she would order and then she would just drive off. And we were like, the first time it happened, we were like, no, that didn't happen. She didn't just drive off without all our food. And then she just did it repeatedly and we were like, what the fuck is going on with my mom? So that's my memory.
She
of
just
fast
totally
food.
forgot to get
She
all
just
the food?
forgot those. She would order it,
I've done that so many
pay,
times.
and then just drive away.
Oh,
Like,
that.
she would drive away.
Does
Hey.
not realize.
And she would get home and say, why didn't you guys say anything? And we're like,
You
we're
paid
not.
for
we
it.
don't fucking know. Why didn't you
I did
pay
that
for
like
the-
one time, and yeah, it was.
I've done that like
sad.
2-3 times. We Devils are a bitch.
When they have that,
Maybe she was high.
When they had that, yeah, I was on a dab at the time.
What, the Puffco, dude?
No,
Were you doing
that
Puffco
this
dabs?
was,
This was years ago?
Years ago when we had the little nail. This was in Bowling Green. No one was still there.
Oh shit.
And, yeah, but yeah, it was. I'm saying the two windows can be confusing. You know,
It's not though.
Well,
Just don't be
When the
dumb.
pay, when it gets you
pay,
shit.
and then you
Don't.
You just
Be
drive
dumb.
off.
you got a brain full of dab, you forget. Or if you got children's in the back,
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
fucking children.
yeah.
You'll forget your food.
I guess I'll go. My happy was that I went to my first EDM concert over the weekend. And I was on drugs. And thank you.
Yeah.
And honestly, you know, I danced for like 3 hours by myself on the dance floor. The crappy part of the week was I went to an EDM concert. And now I like EDM concerts. And that sucks because everybody around me sucked.
Yeah.
And I now
That's how
suck
they
too.
are.
I now suck by
Was it one of those cool
Yeah.
like underground ones where you have to get an email?
It was at no, it was at Arena District, which I already hate going to Arena District because I'm in my 30s, and everybody out. It makes me so frustrated seeing young people go out in the cold. Like we're a fucking coat. Like they just want to be sexy. I'm in there with 3 coats on. I'm sitting inside the fire pit, dude. Like I'm melting my boots again. You know what I mean? So cold. But when the drugs kicked in, it was alright. It was alright. It's pretty cool.
Oh god. I don't think we've ever mentioned drugs this much on.
Shout out to drugs.
Love drugs.
Drugs.
Is yeah.
Also, don't do drugs,
Yeah,
kids.
don't do drugs.
Especially.
Unless it's like, you know,
Unless you, and also unless you
or some mushrooms.
Don't-
Those are good drugs.
don't do drugs unless
Don't
you
start
like
doing
really
coke.
want to. You know what I
If you're at an
mean?
EDM
Or if it's free.
concert, do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't even
don't-
walk to the
yeah.
door
At
unless I
some
was
point
doing
in your life,
drugs.
do it.
Are we rapping already now?
Oh, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. But I do wanna ask some more serious questions. All right, so anyone can answer this. Anyone can start. So individually, how did you guys get into comedy? Like, where did you find your passion for comedy? If you have a passion, or if it's just like a fucking chore to get on stage. But where did you get your passion for comedy? Where did that come from? So just talk a little bit about that.
Go ahead, Bill.
I just love attention. But I don't know,
Honesty.
people always said I was funny and that I stumbled into an open mic one time and everyone was doing really poorly. And I was like, I could do that. And you know, it is harder than it looks, but at the same time, it did kind of better than other people who had sucked for a long time. So I was like, I'll just do this. And it's a lot of fun. I like it a lot. Yeah, it was attention. It's cool. And then you drink while doing it. That's like
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's like that and bowling you can do whilst drinking.
Or flying airplanes.
Yeah. So, yeah, pretty much it. Just kind of stumbled into an open mic one time, and I was like,
How did you
Sure.
stumble into the open mic?
well, I just went to a bar,
Oh.
and the open mic was happening.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's pretty cool. People think I'm funny. I could do that. And then, you know, the community's cool. Everyone's fun to hang out with and drinking and such. So, yeah. That's about it, really, I suppose. Funny. People like
Christopher.
Well, when I was like in like middle school,
Oh, this story's already boring.
in high school, I was into like playing live music, like in bands. I played drums and guitar and all that stuff. And I don't know, I just kind of fell out of love with that, and then realized doing comedy is so much fucking easier because you don't have to pack up like a whole drum kit in your Honda Accord and drive across the state. You know what I mean? That, and I don't know, like I was just watching a bunch of comedy at the time. Like I was watching Ugly and Angry, Chris Porter, and you know, Tom Segura and stuff like that. And I just really wanted to do it, and I checked it out, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
You got into comedy because you're lazy and didn't want to pack up equipment.
I think a lot of people get into comedy because they're lazy.
Yeah.
That, it's like, if you're in a band, you've got to like deal and, which is funny. I'm in the same situation now. You gotta coordinate shit with 4 of the motherfuckers.
You're a band.
And like, for the longest
We
time,
have no
you just
audio
do comedy
equipment or
by
anything.
No.
You just gotta be at the same place at the same time.
Yeah, which is hard enough.
Right.
But,
It's a rare sighting of all 4 of us in the room.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was on me.
Yeah.
And I kind of fell into it on a dare.
Oh.
Yeah, it was one of those things where, you know, I had a lot of free time on my hand because I just got out of like a long relationship, so I didn't know what to do with my time. I wasn't with my cheering. So saw this ad for open mic at Shrunken Head. I invited my friend to come with me. I'm like, man, I don't want to go by myself. I need somebody to check it out. So I went, and I liked it. And like I said, you get to get hammered on stage and say whatever you want, and people will seem to fuck with it. So here I am, Stevie J, Runway.
I was closer.
It was, right?
I also did music before. And,
We call that music.
Christian rap. Johnny did a whole Christian rap career. Hit song, Jesus is my girlfriend. Not really a hit, it just sucks.
It's not. It wasn't.
It's kind of a bop. It's kind of a bop.
As far as the genre goes.
Christian rap sucks. So it sucks.
He's no Cray. We'll just put it like that.
hey, all right, for one, fuck all you guys. For 2, Jesus is my girlfriend was a bop.
It was a bop.
And that song still goes hard to this day. Still goes hard.
Look it up on YouTube.
The replay value of that song is priceless. All right. Anyway, fuck you.
Listen to.
I did do music back in the day, but I really, when I stopped doing music, when I had kids, so I was like, I can't dedicate the time to music. But so I was listening to a lot of comedy in that time, you know, podcasts and shit like that. I didn't even know you could do comedy in any other city other than like New York or fucking, you know, Chicago or LA or whatever. And when I found out that you could do, I was in Cleveland and you could do comedy in Cleveland, I was like, oh shit. So my ex was having her baby shower, and I was like, peace, I'm gonna go do some comedy.
Going to the open mic.
And I was so broke at the time, and I never really went to bars either at the time either. I literally came with like a Ziploc baggie full of quarters, and that's how I bought drinks. It's like, how much was the drink? $7? Okay, hold on.
4.
And then like one dude felt bad for me. He was like, dude, I got this guy. I was like, thanks. I did like, I was supposed to do 5. I did like 3.5 and ran like a little baby off the stage. But you know, once I did it the first time, it was like being born again, dude.
No.
Except for this time I didn't have to do shitty rap music.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was like, wait, weren't you born again?
born again again.
Or born again twice.
Had a
Born
bag
3
of
times.
quarters and a dream,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
here we are.
Now the next question is who's the funniest in the group, and obviously I am. So. DJ, spin that shit.
Okay, all right. So we talked about how you guys all got into comedy. Who would you say your biggest influence? I really hate this question, right?
Yeah.
People ask me that, and then if I don't say Dave Chappelle, people are like,
Well, how did you get into comedy?
"How did I get into comedy?"
Yeah.
Actually, I got into comedy like 3 times, 3 separate times, because I would start and then I was like, oh, well, fuck this. I'm just going to be a businesswoman or whatever that is. The first time I was in college, I think it might have been a Christian open mic. So...
Christian open mic?
They have those.
Christian comedy open mic?
It wasn't
Yeah,
a Christian
it's
comedy
a Christian
open mic.
open
It was
mic.
just like a Christian open mic. It was like a Christian org. That... It's funny, a lot of the people who... There was this one kid who was in that org with me, and he went to South Korea and went viral, and won this huge South Korean, this is completely off topic, but he won this huge South Korean, song competition, and we were like, wow, look at that. Anyway, I was like, somebody was like, there are no comics here, and I was like, someone told me I was funny once, so I was like, I'll go up and do something, and so I just freestyled something, and then people laughed. And then, fast forward, 5 or 6 years later, I went to Bossy Girl. And that's how, but I've always loved comedy. I never thought I would do stand-up, I always thought I would write, so, I was really into, when I was younger, I won't tell my age, I saw the movie Mean Girls with my mom, because I had I had friends, but my mom was my best friend. And she was like, okay, I'll take you to see Mean Girls. And I was like, this is the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. And then I found out, I read the book it was based off of, and then I found out about Tina Fey and Amy Poehler and how much they hated doing stand-up. And I was like, fuck it, I'll never do stand-up, I'll just write like they do. And then I had all these goals of going to college in Chicago and doing Second City and all that stuff. And then I got a scholarship to OSU, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just put on my big girl suit and tie, and then I hated that, so that's how I ended up back in
Comedy.
Yeah, back in comedy.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, the Second City thing, but I didn't know they hated doing stand-up.
Yeah, they were like, every time, if you watch any interview with Tina Fey, and they say, well, have you ever tried stand-up? She's like, no way. But it's funny because there's at the Nest Theater, Tara DeFrancisco. I hope I'm saying her last name right. She talks. She's so funny and the best improviser I've ever seen. Probably one of the funniest people I've ever seen in my life. Has all this energy, and she's like, oh yeah, I tried stand up, hated it. So it's So it's it just depends on what your funny thing is. I definitely think my writing is better than my I personally am not a huge. I mean, I like improv. I do a lot of improv. I love improv, but the stage thing, not my vibe.
That's the part I think that takes a long time to get down to. Is just how you present yourself on the stage, because if you can keep that consistent, then it's easier to tell your jokes. The joke that you write can be so funny, but if you go and you don't tell it right, then it's going to bomb.
And he knows that very well.
Yeah, absolutely. We all do.
Yeah.
No.
I don't spell good. I think if I wrote jokes for other people, they'd be like, what? I don't spell good. It's true. So, it's saying it on stage to me is easier than trying to write a script at first. But
script writing's ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
Again, into just writing small commercials and sketches and
I
stuff.
would like to get into improv, but I don't want to pay for a class. Who knows?
I mean, we can do some yes and.
We should just train ourselves.
Nah, there's no way.
Improv is not fucking scientific.
I heard
dude.
you're yes and
Yes
and then
and.
there's a
there's a
methodology
lot of rules.
to
There's
it.
a lot of rules.
And you know what I think about rules? I don't think about rules.
Well,
I break
improv
things.
can be great or
Think about some of
really
those
really
rules,
bad.
for sure.
You should also make it so I can see my friend Joel over here with your big stupid head.
Getting
Just trying to,
getting
sit
very
up.
confrontational here.
Simmer down now.
I'm just,
Heating up.
you know,
Heating up.
I love these guys, but sometimes you just want to smash them a little bit.
But definitely the stage presence. I love writing for other people. I love writing. I like seeing my people perform my work, which is really great. That's something I realized in college. I was like, oh my god. I think that was how I really got into writing was my freshman year. There was this 24-hour theater festival that they used to do. They were like, the word is Chinese New Year, and I was like, okay. So you just write a script and then you just pass it on and then hope one of the directors later on in the night picks it up. Like, so you just leave your script there, and then if you come back the next day and it's gone, you're like, oh, they're going to perform my thing. And then they perform my thing, and I was like, oh my God. And they're like, we loved it. And I was like, oh shit, like I'm funny-ish on page. But yeah, stand-up is a whole different beast for me. I don't know.
That's cool. I mean, I would say the more valuable skill would be writing for other people. So there you go. It's just,
I'll take that.
For sure.
But yeah, just kind of get back into it. Like, who are your influences? Like, who do you think influences your comedy, if you have any? I mean, some were like, I am my greatest.
As far as just like people that we listen to,
I guess
pretty
like,
much, or just like other comedians that we really like.
Yeah, I guess what influence. It doesn't even have to be comedians. It could be like, my grandmother was hilarious. My grandmother was hilarious. Yeah. But in general, like, but whatever influences your comedy, like, what would you say is your greatest influence?
No, maybe like Larry David and SpongeBob SquarePants, like mixed together is like my vibe. I would say.
Curb Your Bikini Bottom.
Tom Segura. I love Tom Segura. Chris Porter, very, very funny. Mitch Hedberg is one of my favorite comedians of all time, for sure. Yeah, that's about it, really. I mean, there's more people, but I could just,
I mean, mine's are like all cliche. So like, definitely Chappelle, Eddie Murphy, Rock, and yeah, I guess you could throw him in there.
Why? Because he's black? Is that why he's so good?
No, he's still influential, you know?
I don't think he's dated. I don't think.
I mean,
how dare you?
Like, go back and watch.
That was a bold statement.
Well, everybody sounds like
dude.
Pryor, or if they borrow from Pryor.
Yeah, I was
now,
gonna say,
so
Pryor is like the
it's
black
like the gold
Godfather.
standard. You
Well,
know?
It is. I mean, and he was dope back in the day, but if you go back and watch it, it's not. It doesn't really hold up, in my opinion. Comedy's like that, and I think he's one of them.
Well, that's like saying, like,
you got to pick some of his specials, like some of his older stuff.
you've also got to look at the time
It's
frame that
70s,
it was done in, and look at who did it. Like, if you're gonna go listen
Well, yeah,
to like
yeah.
Red
So
Fox,
in the context
you're not gonna
of
expect.
the time, it's good.
Well, that's what I mean. That's
Yeah.
exactly what he was saying. It's dated.
Yeah.
That's what that means,
Yeah.
Chris.
Face,
Johnny. At least he's cute, dude. He's fucking dumb as shit.
I
Chris.
kind of feel like that about, and I know everybody's gonna hate me, but Lenny Bruce, like I didn't get it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I was like,
totally fine.
No, yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what he's. I was like, is this
What's
a
his
joke?
appeal?
Or what is
No.
Yeah, there was
I get
one
it.
point where he would just like read his divorce papers on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
That's kind of funny, but like it would after 10 minutes of it, it's probably
Oh, he actually.
like
No,
he
no,
would-
no,
No, he would
yeah,
literally do
and then
that.
he was just like and it was cool back then, but like I don't know. Really,
Smoke while he does
SpongeBob
it.
is better than Lenny Bruce, I think. There said.
It's a hot take.
I would say my biggest influence, as a comedian, and as a public masturbator is Louis C.K. He inspired me to go follow both my passions. Pryor was huge, man. Not as much Eddie, as an actor maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Like his old stuff.
Yeah, but
It's problematic now, for sure.
I mean, Raw was just like kind of ridiculous. I mean, when I watched Raw, I was like, all right, dude.
I thought Raw was
Raw
hilarious.
is very.
It's just
Raw
like
killed me. I
it
thought
made
it
me
was
super
funny.
uncomfortable the
Really?
amount of time that he used that F word. It's just like, I mean, in the first 5 minutes, it's like 10
Which
times.
F word?
yeah, say it, Chris. Say it.
Oh, okay,
Say it.
okay.
I double dog
Never
Mary.
mind.
Say
Never mind.
it. Chris.
No.
Say it together.
Absolutely.
Let's go.
All right, Johnny. 1,
2, 3. Fa la 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 la. What F word were you talking
It's
about?
just like
I
so
thought
much
it was-
hate.
Gay slur. He does
Okay.
a lot,
I
and
didn't,
it
I
was the
didn't,
80s.
I don't even remember.
It was the 80s, but it's like,
Well,
alright, come
yeah.
on.
Well, gay people
the
hadn't been
one-
invented in the 80s yet. So
One was kind of
they-
cute where he was like, it's a gay police car.
Yeah, that's exactly which isn't
Yeah.
funny, actually. No, I'm being serious. Like it's not funny from a place of like empathy. It's funny from a place of privilege, which is like, whoa.
I don't know. A gay police car would be pretty funny. I'm sorry.
Then Pryor has like really, like he has this really long one about abortion, one about heroin. That are both kind of like bad, and then he has
I'd rather
one
hear about abortion, abortion.
Well, there's
or
also
heroin
this
than,
one
like,
about like the difference between breeding white women and black women.
Breeding them?
beating.
Oh, beating them.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Some of his shit
God.
was spicy.
Oh wait,
You know.
Eddie Murphy has a joke like that too.
Really?
Oh,
He
yeah,
has a joke
yeah.
about, like,
A
beating
whole
up-
ass joke about hitting this lady.
And he also had a joke about like, I think Eddie Murphy is just a funny person. His content, I feel like, and he acknowledges it now.
Yeah.
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 Which is something that's rare amongst comedians. He's like, yeah, that shit wasn't funny, and we're all
Right.
like, what? But he's like, yeah, that shit was shit. And it was really. I think it's because, I don't know. I used to watch his the show called Hollywood Exes, and his ex-wife was on there, and she said she divorced him because he just wanted to sit in the house all day. And I was like, well, if you're Eddie Murphy, you can find everything funny.
It's like
You can just sit at
done
home.
with Mulan,
Yeah.
Shrek.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just gonna chill out. I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'd
Like
kick
he
it.
already had a very successful
Quite a bit.
career. He doesn't want to botch it by
Yeah.
coming out
He's
with.
wiping his ass with
Pluto
$200
Nash
bills,
3.
basically.
But yeah, he said he regretted it, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no. Also, he only had 2 specials. I feel like everybody gives him so much goddamn credit. He only had 2 specials.
Well, he came
Delirious
out.
and Raw.
And 2 tight ass.
But then not only that, but I mean, not even just a stand-up. His time on SNL was pretty good too.
He was only on SNL for a little bit.
Yeah, but he
okay.
stole the show.
And yeah, he did steal the show, and he started out when he was really young.
Yeah, I think he was like
That's
22.
Wait, my pinnacle Eddie Murphy is Daddy Daycare. Daddy Daycare, Eddie Murphy killing it. Him and Jeff Garland together. It's pretty sweet. I'm not being serious.
Okay, I was about to
was like,
say,
yeah,
really
I haven't
get
seen
out
it.
of here.
Beverly Hills Cop was cool.
I haven't seen the only Eddie. Okay, I haven't seen any Eddie Murphy movie before like 1999. So
I'm sure I have. I just can't
48
think of
hours.
it.
I've never seen.
Like Beverly Hills
48
Cop
hours,
and
Nope.
That's called another.
Is that
48
is
hours.
it
Thank you very much.
Beverly Hills Cop or Beverly Hills Police Officer?
Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Is it cop for sure?
It's Cop.
I don't know why. I always thought it was police officer.
You thought it was Beverly Hills Police Officer?
I don't know, dude. It just rolls off the tongue better for some reason.
You know
What?
what's
doesn't at all.
what-
No,
I
it
don't know
doesn't.
why. I don't know why.
What's funny is Eddie Murphy, the most offensive thing he's done at this point was not using the F word in his specials, it was being a cop for a movie.
Yeah, but he's a cool cop. He was a
We're
cool
gonna
cop.
cancel him for being a police officer. Beverly Hills Police. Oh, you're so.
Beverly Hills
think
Cop. That
better
is the
ones,
worst
too.
place to stage a cop movie.
What are you talking
Brooklyn.
Beverly
Vampire
Hills?
in Brooklyn.
I don't know what it's
Vampire
about.
Brooklyn.
Oh, I have seen.
Yeah.
With what's the
Angela Bassett.
Oh, and
There's,
Coming to America.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
that's fair.
I really like Coming to America.
Trading
That was
Places.
And
with
then
him
that,
Dan Aykroyd.
and then the porn parody coming on America.
Oh, Lord.
Nah,
That's why we
that
got
happens.
Johnny.
Yeah. Even that public masturbation. He loves it so much.
Don't get me started.
We're going a deep dive.
I mean,
Airport periods.
even I feel like even looking back at Louis C.K. right at the time, I was like, wow, this is great, and then I was like if you look at
What,
the
like
women.
his comedy or
Okay, I'm talking specifically about the show. I guess
the show Louis?
Louis.
That was
Louis, yeah.
such a good show, dude.
It was a
Um,
good show.
What was the other one? He had another
Lucky
show.
Louie.
Lucky Louie.
It was
Oh,
one
that-
season on HBO.
yeah.
but
With Jim Norton.
I felt like Louis. I thought Louis was really great until I realized it was just him saying what other like he would often like a character would say something, usually a woman, and then he would say it. His joke would be that he would say it and people would listen to him, and I was like, oh, that's funny. And then he did it again and again and again. And I was like, oh, all right, every episode he's gonna do it. And then I also noticed that a lot of the women in his show were like really fucking crazy, like really angry, intense, and I'm like,
I'm pretty sure his wife at the time was on that show for a little while. No?
No.
Are you sure?
He was married to a black woman and had 2 white children. That was the whole joke of it.
I thought
And,
that was
and
funny.
nobody
That
ever
was really
talked about
funny,
it.
yeah.
And at the end, one of the last seasons,
Yeah,
the girl he's dating was like,
yeah, what happened?
what the hell happened here? And he's like, what are you talking about? That was pretty fun. I mean,
it was funny. It was really, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Louis, the show. I just was like, I just noticed how crazy the women were. The women were really fucking crazy.
I haven't
Everybody
watched
was crazy.
Louis, I think, since like my senior year of high school.
I haven't seen Louis since
Yeah,
college.
it's been a long
Something like-
time.
it's been
like
a-
on TV.
It's on
Yeah.
Hulu.
It is?
Really?
Wow. Fuck Hulu. But again,
Fuck Hulu.
I mean, he's like the. I actually don't know what caused Louis to. He does jizz on people, like.
Or no,
He doesn't jizz on
next
people.
to them.
There's a difference.
Correct. Yeah.
We've never
There's a difference.
jizzed in adjacent to somebody before, dude.
What
there we go.
happened? What did he? Because I was like, I don't want to really think about Louis C.K. jizzing.
He kind of like used his power and influence to
Lure women
jerk
in.
off in front of women. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
technically he did ask them, but it's still you shouldn't ask somebody to jerk
Yeah,
off,
like when you're in that
especially
So
when
it was
you're-
like he was basically their boss. And he would be
Oh,
like, hey,
fuck.
Oh, he was
wanna-
like
no.
they were working for him.
no.
Kind of, they would be like comedians that
Yeah,
were
be
gonna
comedians.
be well. Okay, if you're Louis C.K. and you're like a
That's
comedian-
fair. No, you're making a good point, but it wasn't like he wasn't their direct
Well,
supervisor.
right, but I don't know. It was,
I guess they thought he was going to help him
Dynamic.
come up.
No, and
Hey, he
I'm
thought he
not
was
trying
gonna-
to, and I'm not trying to defend it. Of course, it's not defensible, and even he'd say that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to defend it.
He
But
didn't have that one
a lot
joke.
of people at this point in time, it's like when somebody is accused of something, it doesn't matter anymore. Like it becomes something else as like the phone game goes on, and like you know what I'm saying, like. And now people are just like, yeah, Louis C.K. is a rapist, and you're just like, what just happened here? You know, it went from like jerking off in front of somebody to raping somebody. People need to get their shit straight and then fucking figure it out. I'm not saying to like Louis C.K. I'm not saying what he did was right at all. You know what I'm saying? But all I've ever heard from people is like, yeah, Louis C.K. is a rapist. I'm just like, what are you talking
I'm
about?
not sure the jerk off thing.
Yeah,
So,
I've never heard Louis C.K. is a rapist. You know,
Where are you getting your information from?
I've heard it from comedians. You know what I'm
but that
saying?
he's a rapist?
Yes. People just don't take the time to learn.
I guess that's fair. I mean, he still did a lot of like really good work as far as comedy.
No, as far as
Like,
comedy
his
goes,
albums
yeah,
were fucking
insane.
incredible.
Insane.
But it's just like I don't know. Some people it takes too long to realize that they're kind of a piece of shit. You know.
You like his comedy, you don't be in a room alone with him. That's all it is.
I mean, you know,
You might get just
don't give him any more money because he jerked off in front of people.
I tell you what, if Louis asked to jerk off in front of me, my answer would always be yes.
Well, that's
Because
And that's recorded.
Right.
Louis,
You heard it here first.
right here,
If
buddy.
he gets in contact with any of his jizz, he's going to rub it in and try to be funny.
And Johnny's gonna try
Try
to
to
put
get-
it in a syringe. And
I'm gonna put a little vial of it on my neck. And every time I go on stage, you know, just kiss it. On stage.
Oh,
The
God.
turn
Try it
this
out.
is taking.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This is
It
not-
does come back
Yeah.
to jazz often.
Back to Shine
We
Time.
talked about, yeah.
All right, it's the holidays. You can see all our